So first thing we're going to do is do a wait at the crate. This calms her down, gets her paying attention. Then we're going to have her sit to put her leash on.
Good girl.
And then, of course, another sit before going out the door. This starts our walk off nice and calm. When we start our walk, we're going to start with walking her in circles with her on the inside. Our body language is nice and relaxed. This gets her in a zone and gets her used to walking beside you in heel position. This will get her nice and calmed down and focused on you. And then you can start adding in a sit. Working on commands during your walk will keep her focused on you instead of her zoning you out. There's lots of good smells and things to do out there for a hunting dog. But right now it's time to work. We'll play later. Once she's good in a zone, we'll start working on some sit stays where she sits beside us and we add a little distance. This works hard on Ruby's self-control. If she gets up, she gets a little correction, and we put her right back in the spot where she got up from. Little tugs on the leash if she doesn't listen to the command. So now we're going to add in a sit with some more distance and more movement around her. This makes her focus even harder on you and work harder on her self-control. She gets a good praise for that one. If she gets distracted or puts on the brakes, just keep moving forward. When distracted, she may not always listen to her commands. Therefore, we need a physical follow-through with a little tug on the leash and a push on her butt. If she breaks her command, you're just going to give her a correction and put her back where you started. Timing is key to correct her as soon as she starts to get up. Good job, Ruby. She gets praised while she's in a calm sit, but if she gets pushy, it all stops. Good girl. Next, we can work on a sit, stay, and then come. No jumping on us. We need a sit when she comes to us, and then she gets praised. We'll practice again. She has to sit beside us, stay, call her to you, and then she has to sit before she gets praised for completing the activity. Good job, Ruby. Once she's settled down with circles and commands, we'll practice a maneuver called turn into your dog and go the opposite way. So turn into your dog and go the opposite way. This is helpful when Ruby gets super excited about something ahead of her and you need to remind her that she's still walking with you. So you would just turn into her and go the opposite way until she calms back down. Then you try again. Turn into her, go back the way you came. As long as she's calm, she gets to keep moving forward. Another maneuver to practice is passing her behind your back to move her to the other side. This comes in handy when there's some distraction or something that's exciting her and making her want to pull that way. You can pass her behind you and move her to the other side. Putting your body in between her and the distraction makes it easier. Once she's calm and has worked with you and done commands, then it's time to do a more leisurely walk where she gets more of the leash. She gets to smell, she gets to be a dog, but she's still not pulling on the leash. Practice turning directions and making sure she's still staying in tune with you. She has to still follow your lead. When you return from your walk, send her to her bed for a sit to take the leash off. She needs to hear her release word before she's released. Fetch is a great activity to work on going to her bed, sitting, bringing it back, going to her bed, a drop command. This also gets a ton of energy out for Ruby. You could play with her on a long line and use a bed in the yard for her to come back to.
Yes, good girl. Yes, good girl. Wait.
Now it's time for breakfast. When we scoop her food, Ruby can't be jumping on us or the counter. She has to wait politely while we fix her Kong wobbler. Ruby loves to work for her breakfast.
Ready for breakfast?
More practice sending her to her bed with a sit, and now we use a down. And she needs to be released to eat her food. This is a good way to keep her busy eating her breakfast while you get some other things done. Another thing to practice to make her bed a good spot to go is having her sit and then down on her bed, and she gets a yummy bone with peanut butter. She has to stay on her bed while she has her bone. If she gets up, she loses it. Practicing proper play inside is good. She can't be pushy for toys. She can't jump up in your lap to get them. It's good to play tug of war, but she can't be too excited or too pushy. Practice using the drop command, and then she has to back up and sit to ask to play again.
Good girl. Good girl. Good job. Get it, Ruby. Get it, Ruby. Good girl. Get it. Get it, Ruby. Oh, get it. Good girl. Get that toy. Get that toy. Get that toy. Oh, good girl. Good girl. Get it. Get it.
Drop. Sit.
She has to sit in order to play again. Don't repeat the command, just wait her out. Nothing fun is going to happen until she does the command that you asked. No being pushy, no pawing, something polite. Good girl.
Good girl, Rubes. Good girl, Rubes. What'd you get? What'd you get? Oh, good girl. Good girl, get it. Get it. Oh, good job. Good job. Good job. Good girl. Good girl.
Drop.
Come here.
Sit.
Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Yeah. Good job. Good girl. Good job. Good girl. Nope.
If she starts to get too pushy, we're gonna stop playing.
Ready, back. Ready, back.
She needs to back up and give us space. Good girl. And then when we're done, we ignore.
Alright, it's enough.
Tell her enough.
You filled the whole basket.
She needs to learn to settle on her own. And if she's not pushy, she can be invited up on the couch.
Good job.
For a good snuggle time.
Good girl.
And then when you need to leave the house or you can't supervise her, she can go in her crate with a bone to settle down.